Hello again, Mavic traders, and welcome out to your daily currency recap. This is Ankit here, and let's break down today's market price action. As always, we'll be talking about markets. We'll take a look at what's happening in the broader markets, breaking it down into the currency baskets and look at any major news. And then lastly, take a look at some possible setups ahead. Let's get into it.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
As we jump into the market analysis, let's just jump right into the headlines and performance. And you can see that across the board today, we had a relief rally in the markets, which is, again, pretty common once you have a big flesh out in the markets. And then we start to get this recovery. Remember, overall, the trends are still negative, but in the shorter term, we're getting this relief rally. So what we call this is it's a corrective price action. It's not full-blown reversal yet because it seems like we still haven't really made that true reversal. I think we're just getting some bear rallies here, but we'll take a look at the charts and see the possible scenarios. But now if we take a look at the percentage of turns, what are you seeing here? You're seeing the opposite of what we had yesterday or on Friday. The worst currencies are catching a bounce: Aussie, Kiwi, and the CAD. Now, what's performing the weakest? You can see the pound is really the weakest here. But outside of the pound, we have the yen corrective here. Dollar is mostly flat. And then we have the Swiss franc being slightly negative. We have the euro, which was the good performance currency last week, is underperforming. So what we have here is an opposite of what we get in a trend score. These are the times where you get these opposite scores, where the velocity is moving one way and the trend is moving the other way. And we'll find out in the next couple of days once, where the markets really want to go, because at this point, it's still a little early to call if this is the bottom or market's going to roll back over. So we'll have to find out. Now, if you take a look at the outside of the currency market, similar thing happening in the global market as well. Gold pulling back, oil is down, and then we have the S&P up, we have the world stock index up, and we have a crypto up very nicely, 4% as well. Remember, these are the ones that took the biggest hit. The crypto were down quite huge. S&P, everything was quite down, just getting a recovery. So similar price action across the board, and similar to in the crypto market, you can see the Bitcoin really did the best today, 4.88%. We have the Ethereum that's kind of lagging here. Then Litecoin is up 4.51. So there's a bit of a lag between the Bitcoin and Ethereum, but overall, pretty similar thing, getting a nice bounce in the markets. Now, if we take a look at our market outlook here, we definitely have a -2. Again, nothing really has changed, like I said, on the trend score. If you take a look at the chart, we are below the 20 to 50. We got too extended, so we're just getting a bounce here. The big question is this bounce is going to roll over? Is this a good shorting opportunity? Or is this the true reversals that we just go right back to, where we started from? So I think at this point, it still looks like corrective price action. Look at the tail that we got on that candle today. We did rally, but then we didn't really hold on to a lot of those gains. So that's, again, a bit of a negative sign. So I think you still got to watch out for some volatility here, some rolling over of this price action here. Now, if you take a look at the calendar this week, you can see that everything is kind of overshadowing some of the news. If you take a look at the RBA last night, they left the rates unchanged. Well, there was no move off of that. The big moves that already happened on a Monday, going overnight, we saw some moves in yen. So outside of that, again, we have the RBA rate statement that's behind us. We have the Kiwi employment report that's just later on this evening. What kind of impact would they have? You can see that they are looking for an uptick in that unemployment rate. Remember, when we had that big report on Friday out of the US and the unemployment rate kicked up, now that's a negative for the currency, because that makes the central bank want to cut rates instead of holding on to the rates. So, there's something to kind of watch out for. They're looking for an increase in the unemployment rate. If it comes out better than expected, we'll probably see a rally in the Kiwi. But if this comes out worse than expected, we'll probably see another sell-off in the Kiwi there. Outside of that, you can see there's not a whole lot throughout the week. On Friday, we have the employment report out of Canada, but that's pretty much it. So I think right now, you just want to continue focusing on the broader markets.
Do you want to be a professional trader? Maverick Currencies is the oldest US-based Forex and crypto prop trading company that will pay you for trading with our capital. Trade our capital and keep 70 to 80% of the profits. We are looking for traders just like you that are hardworking and motivated. Click the apply link on the top right of this video to see if you have what it takes. That link takes you to a 4-minute video that explains the trader position available, and you read a list of FAQs that answer pretty much all the basic questions you have at this point. After watching the video and reading the FAQs, if you're interested, fill out an application, then you'll watch the full-length recruiting video, and then schedule an interview with one of our traders. Are you our next trader?
Now let's just jump into our currency analysis and take a look at velocity scores and look at possible trades. Now, this is what velocity scores are telling us. You can see that, the worst ones are the ones catching a bounce. Aussie, CAD, Kiwi is a +1. On the bearish side, we have the Euro, Swiss franc, Yen. They're kind of underperforming. But overall, like I said, the trend score and velocity scores are going to be polar opposite right now just because of that bounce. So you're going to continue looking for where the direction is. And we're going to continue looking for when that turn happened. So let's just jump into possible trades ahead and take a look at some setups. Now, looking at the setups here, let's just start with some of the currency baskets one by one. If you take a look at the price action so far here, dollar price action really hasn't really recovered as much. You can see that the price action on a daily chart had a lot of wicks here. But if I just look at the 4-hour chart, which I'm focusing on right now, just not really going anywhere. Dollar still is not the best one to pair it with. Remember, all that action was in the yen and the Swiss franc. So what's the yen doing? You can see that the yen did sort of, rally quite a bit, had a bit of a correction pattern. But look at that. This is still like a bull pullback to me. I mean, the velocity is definitely kicking lower. We're below the parabolic SAR and the RSI. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, like I said, this has never really rolled over yet. So we can't really call that if the yen is ready to reverse. I think it's just a corrective price action where there's sort of a bull pullback to me. So what I would need to see is sort of a failed rally attempt where maybe we get a double top and then start a rollover. Or this might be just a bull pullback and then it's just rally up and continue breaking out. Remember, we are playing with some big forces here. This unwinding of this massive short in the yen is playing out. So this is where don't look at the RSI as much because we look like we are very extended, but at the same time, just pay attention to what the price action is showing it to us. And right now, this is still in a corrective pattern. Now the Swiss franc, very similar story. Take a look at this one. We did sort of made a top right here and then just going sideways here. So here's two possible scenarios. Either we break out to the upside, or we break out below the support, below that exponential moving average, so the 13-day exponential moving average, we move lower, and that would again give me a confirmation that maybe price action wants to turn over yet. But this is still in the process where we just don't know yet because we got the top, we had a correction, and now we're just waiting for whichever way it's going to move next. Same thing with the euro. Euro again is pulling back. It's been the good currency on the daily chart, but on a 4-hour chart, it just doesn't look nice. And again, if you want to look for a good currency to short, I think pound is the one that is the best short here. You can take a look at that massive move. Remember, pound is the best currency that we've had so far. They cut last week, and you can see that this thing is just showing the relative weakness. So I do like some of the pound crosses. It is kind of showing that it's sort of oversold on the daily chart. Maybe a nice little healthy bounce would be a good opportunity to short into. Now, CAD, take a look at it. Again, they were all oversold and they got a nice bounce. But take a look at the daily chart. They're still bearish. Now, if I go on a 4-hour chart, this is just in a correction pattern here. So, buying a sort of a bounce here can be a little risky because, is this going to roll over? We don't know yet. But I think what we need for, if this is a reversal, is that where we see a higher low or and then we see, a higher high. So that's exactly what we're looking for. And if this is going to break lower, then we know already where the support is. Aussie, similar story. You can see that this thing was quite bearish, and then it just have a bottom here, and then since then it's just not really going anywhere. So that's really where we are at. We're just trying to figure out which way it's going to go. It's just not continuing yet. Same thing with the Kiwi. Remember, Kiwi had bigger move right here. It had a consolidation. It broke lower. Kiwi is not really going anywhere either. So you just have to really look at the time frames that you're trading. I think 4-hour chart would be a good one to look at, because daily might still be very extended, but a 4-hour could give us an indication where the velocity is. We can trade the velocity. So not much has really changed. Correction patterns, not the reversals yet. We're still trying to figure out which way it's going to go. I think that's where we are at. Big moves have already happened. So we just everyone is just trying to figure out where is the next big move. And I think for that, we might consolidate. We might be in this little corrective pattern for maybe another day or two. Then we'll figure out if this is going to be rolling over, or is this really the true bottom. So play that relative strength of weakness. I like the pound weakness here. Now the big question is, what do I pair with? Do I pair with against the Aussie or the CAD, or do I stick with something else like the Swiss franc and the yen? But remember, Swiss franc and yen are not the best velocity score right now. They are in that corrective phase. So I think that's what makes it a little tricky. So we just have to kind of pair those accordingly. I like the pound short is at -3. But yeah, if you're looking for where's the next big move is going to happen, we might have to just be a little bit more patient. And I'm sure there's going to be a great opportunity to be had, either on an extension or on a reversal. So that's the game plan for now. Thanks for joining. We'll see you in the next update. Happy trading.